4,400 petabytes. That's the amount of data uploaded to Pornhub in 2018. And yes, I said petabyte, not gigabyte or terabyte. For reference, the human brain can only store about 2.5 petabyte of data. That means we will need the brain of about 1,700 people to store all that quality content. But sexual content is not just present on porn website. Take the video I show you at the beginning of this video to draw your attention. They come from TikTok or Instagram Explore page. When you watch those videos, you can feel dopamine increase. It pushes you closer and closer of opening an incognito tab and yeah. So when was the last time you succumbed to the temptation? Was it a year ago, a month, a week, a day, or maybe a few hours ago? Well, don't be ashamed because about 70% of male and 40% of female masturbated over the past year. I said don't be ashamed, but our generation actually showed, because the number of men reporting no sex over the past year rose from 1 in 5 in 2000 to nearly 1 in 3 by 2018. The decrease in sexual activity amongst men correlates with the rapid increase and diffusion of sexual content. At the same time, we also saw a rise in anxiety and depression. So it raised the question, is porn ruining society, or is it all just a coincidence? Spoiler alert, it's not. But to what extent does porn actually affect our brains, and how can we break free from it? Well, let's talk about it. Porn is not something new. Today we use websites as our medium of consumption. In the 90s, we used magazines, and throughout history, humans have always been creative to find ways to create and distribute porn. So the existence of pornography content is not the problem. The real issue is that we have never before had so many ways to consume porn, and have never before been exposed to this amount of sexual content. On top of that, the ease of access for children makes it an even greater concern. I am pretty sure a lot of you watching this video have watched porn even before having sex for the first time. Personally, I started well before I had the courage to talk to girls. Back then, I thought I already knew everything about sex and how to do it the right way. This is due to a natural phenomenon known as sexual imprinting. It's essentially learning what your partner desires by observing other individuals. So I thought porn scenes were real, and that copying what the guys in the video did was the way to go. One good example to illustrate the effect of sexual imprinting is the rise of strangulation. I mean, who decided that choking your partner during sex is a good thing? Because a generation ago, this was a completely unheard of practice, but thanks to porn, it has now become the norm. So we have faceless corporation in the porn industry creating bad sexual practice, and because porn is so accessible, children get exposed, and thanks to sexual imprinting, the practice get normalized. The porn industry effectively has a total control over our most intimate moment with our partner, and I don't think it's something any of us want. Most of us know that watching porn is bad. That's why you have that feeling of shame, embarrassment, or regret right after busting, the infamous post-nut clarity moment. But then why are we so drawn to porn despite knowing that inevitable outcome? The short answer is dopamine. Dopamine is a hormone that plays roles in many of our body functions, like memory and attention, but it's also involved in motivation and pleasure. So our brain uses dopamine as a reward to congratulate us when you achieve something great, like winning a competition, getting a pay increase, or having sex. All these experiences generally require to put in some effort. So our brain tries to reinforce those habits, and this pushes us to strive for more and to achieve more. But what if there is a way for us to get the same result of dopamine increase without putting in any effort? Well, that's exactly what porn does to your brain. It breaks the relationship between effort and gratification and opens the floodgates for instant gratification. At first glance, there is nothing wrong with instant gratification. I mean, every human invention throughout history strives to make our lives easier. And it's true that sometimes the easy path is the right one. But when it comes to porn, things are a bit different. Our body craves dopamine and is always looking for more. Removing the required effort for sexual gratification is like giving a child unlimited access to a candy store. It will probably result in addiction with severe consequences. This 28-year-old male on Reddit went from watching casual porn to hardcore gang sex for 5 hours a day. Another example is this interview of Kanye West discussing his porn addiction.
Like for me, Playboy was my gateway into full-on pornography addiction. And it's affected almost every choice I made for the rest of my life.
Despite being a terrible thing, addiction is not the only way porn can destroy your life. Watching porn and masturbating make you sad and guilty. This can lead you into a downward spiral of depression and lack of motivation. If you get used to instant gratification when it comes to sex, you may also start to seek out instant gratification in other areas of your life, such as junk food when you're hungry or alcohol when you're depressed. For an average young man, getting rejected by girls can trigger a cycle of instant gratification. Breaking out of that cycle is very difficult because it requires either a lot of willpower or an outside intervention. But make sure to watch this video till the end because we will discuss effective ways to get out of that situation.
I wish that people would treat me how they would treat a married, registered nurse with 2.5 kids in Indiana. That's how I wish people would treat me.
The unfortunate reality is that the porn industry causes harm to not only the consumer, but also the producer and actor. Many actresses have reported instances of physical and emotional abuse. I mean, just imagine shooting 20 to 30 scenes in a month and the impact it can have on the body.
Single mom, addicted to drugs and alcohol. I was the kind of person that the porn industry preys upon. The porn industry preys upon people who are already damaged, so they can damage them more.
On top of that, they are exposed to disease and sexual infection like herpes. Probably the most difficult problem porn actress faces are social inclusion and sexual trauma, because the internet never forgets, and being an ex-porn actress can close the door to many paths of living a normal life with a family or even to get a regular job.
People treat me as if I am a pedophile. They don't treat me like an ex-sex worker. They treat me like I would somehow be damaging to children.
How to stop consuming porn? If you search this on Google, you will have answers like try meditation, change your surrounding, or instant and porn blocker. These are all useful advice, but I want to discuss something different here. If you masturbate on porn regularly, I want to think of it as a habit, a bad habit that you want to break. And the best way to do so is by replacing it with a new and better habit. In the book Atomic Habits, the author explained the 4 laws of behavior change that you need to follow to succeed. The 4 laws are: make it obvious, make it enjoyable, make it easy, make it satisfying. To break a bad habit, we need to reverse this law so it becomes: make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. To reduce the visibility of porn in your life, you need to find the cues that trigger your consumption. You tend to watch porn at a specific time of the day or when you are scrolling through a particular social media. You need to ask yourself those questions and find the cues that enable your behavior and take action to avoid those situations. You can reduce the attractiveness of porn by associating it with something you enjoy even more. For example, when you feel the urge to watch porn, try to do something more enjoyable that you find fulfilling before. It could be anything like calling a friend you like to talk to and spend some time on the phone. The goal is to reward yourself with something positive when you resist the temptation. I recommend that you read the book Atomic Habits yourself to learn more about habits in general. I believe it's the best way to quit addiction and to build a better lifestyle. If you think the porn industry is bad, watch this video to understand how the tobacco industry makes babies smoke and kill millions of people in the process. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe. See you in the next one.